Guys, if you're a fan of the podcast, you can get more crazy content like this, me wearing a hat backwards, aren't I mad, at patreon.com/SlyGuy podcast. The link's in the description. For as little as £2 a month, you can support the podcast and support me to keep paying for this studio and keep doing this podcast. Otherwise, what the fuck's the point? We are brought to you in association with Visual Antics Apparel. They make the merch, they design the logo, and they are available to purchase other things too. But no one cares because my podcast merch is the best. And if you want to get 10% off whenever you're buying Sly Guy podcast merch, you can use the discount code SlyGuy10 at checkout. That's SlyGuy10 at visualanticsapparel.com, or just by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. I hate it when people say podcast. Podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Podcast. All right. Sly Guy podcast. Modest Beer. Yes. modestbeer.co.uk to find out what their merch is all about and their beers are all about. You sign up to their brews letter to get a monthly update on all things Modest. And if you want to get 15% off your purchases of their merch or their beer, you can use the discount code SlyPA15 at checkout. Get on it now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Yes.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast, wherever we find ourselves entering your ears, and depending on where you're consuming this episode, your eyes as well, because you could just be listening to the audio only, which is fine. This is what a podcast is. I don't know why podcasts have become television shows. It's fucking weird. But what you can do is watch on YouTube too, and the subscribers are on the rise on YouTube. The patrons are on the rise on patreon.com. The subscribers are on the rise on YouTube, so you can click subscribe whenever you're on YouTube, and you can get this into your eyes and ears every Thursday or wherever you get subscribed to. So we're all on the up. I'm feeling good. I enjoy it. And what a treat I have for you today. This, I must say, and be honest, as a wee bit of a spoiler at the start, this episode went to places I didn't anticipate it going. It was very bizarre. Would you agree? Very bizarre. We dealt with all things AI. We dealt with BARSE. The BARSE. Do you know what a BARSE is? No, but you're going to find out if you listen to an hour of this podcast. And what else did we talk about? Anything?
The meaning of life.
The meaning of life. We offer, I think actually at one point I ended up offering some pretty heartfelt advice to people on how to solve problems in the world, didn't we? We offered to solve the wars.
We talked about that insult.
And the insult, an insult that I got, which baffled me. An insult I'd never anticipated, but one that I will never forget. This is this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast with me and my guest, this guy that you can't see because he's off camera shot, Alan Irwin. Oh no, put your hand away.
Oh!
No, sorry.
No, I'm leaving if you do that.
Hello, welcome Alan Irwin to the podcast. It's great to have you. Friend of the show, friend of mine, friend of yours. How are we doing, Mr. Irwin?
Good, yeah.
Mr. Irwin, that's
Mr.
very...
Irwin, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. I know. I once did work experience in a primary school, and they called me Mr. Irwin, and it was strange. I was like, "Who's that guy?"
It's Mr. Irwin. Mr. Irwin sounds like a wrestling character almost.
Mr. We had a boring character. Oh, the wrestling solicitor.
Mr. Irwin. But what would your finish be if you're Mr. Irwin? What would you do?
Mr. Hit them with a big loaf. You call it like the plain loaf or the
the
nutty
breads.
crust.
Okay.
Kicking the balls.
I was thinking
the nutty
solicitor.
crust.
Yeah. It would be a version of Shattered Dreams, would it?
Just pull their legs apart myself.
The nutty bust.
The nutty. Well, here that's a different podcast. Yeah. It's nice to be here. Thanks for.
Awesome.
It's nice. It's Easter Tuesday and all.
It is.
Do you like to date things? Sorry,
no, we don't like to date this because this is going to be going out in 2 weeks' time. So maybe 3 weeks' time. Who knows?
Sorry. Well, anyway, look. Happy Easter.
But
happy May Day. Happy May Day.
But can I also say, for two people who have been raised with a Protestant element in their lives, bad form to be doing a podcast on Easter Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bad form.
Bad form. Yeah.
I'm sorry to my
dad wouldn't even cut the grass today. You know what I mean? It's like it's not.
Literally, or.
Oh no! My dad is not that guy. He's very much, but he's like he wouldn't cut the grass on a Sunday or anything. He's very, even he's not religious.
He's just Mr. Irwin.
But he's just Protestant.
Yeah.
It's just very Protestant.
I like that.
And a big weekend for non-Protestants.
Oh, why? Because the big Pope died.
He died. The Pope's dead.
Francis.
Yeah. Yesterday I was booking Killer Darlings at the gig I run.
Oh no, and you wanted to get him, but
no, I did. I was like,
yeah.
I could have had him last month, and I didn't put him on Raging. And I messaged the comedian. Says, "Can you do the next one or whatever?" And he goes, "Look, you can't talk about the Pope's dead. You can't be talking about comedy now. And I went, I'm just getting this sorted before we go out for some celebratory pints. Not really. I couldn't give a fuck either way. But
like we are spoiled in terms of big deaths, aren't we? Like, we're spoiled. We've seen the Queen die. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people in their lifetime would have just had the one monarch. We're probably going to have 3, because I'm sure Charles.
Well, I'd like to think we'll outlive Charles. Yep. That would be.
And then who's that going to be? Bilbo. It's going to be in next.
And then what do you call their son?
George.
So, yeah, but George the 7th.
7th, yeah. George the 7th. I can't wait till the 8th. Because Henry VIII was wild, wasn't he? So George, the 8th could be pretty lit too. I
saw actually a t-shirt. You Jim will paint it. Do you know Jim will paint it? The Facebook page. It's like you just request things and he draws them. And he did Henry the Hoover the 8th.
Oh wow!
With it's Henry the 8th with Henry the Hoover's face, and it's really horrifying.
Yeah,
like it really makes me feel sick.
He's actually good. I was initially stunted slightly there because I thought you were going to talk about James Savile.
No. I mean, there's a lot of that going on in Jim will paint it too.
All right, okay. So you're going to say something else going back?
No. I'm not touching that issue. Definitely not.
But Jim will paint it's very good. Very funny. Do you think he'll be done out of a job with the rise in artificial intelligence and art projects?
I don't know. All his drawings have the correct number of fingers and all. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about AI. You know what I mean? There's elements of it I think are very useful.
Yes.
But as someone who has a job that could probably be replaced by AI, not a fan. And also, is it a bit like, because it makes things by taking elements of other people's work, is it ethically okay in a creative sense? You know, if somebody is it basically theft?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's going to kill like graphic design and all, you know. Because
yeah, but then the graphic design, I think with AI, I enjoy it as a hobby. Mm-hmm. Like, I like.
But would you do like a show poster with AI?
Yes.
Oh, you would?
Probably. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I think I'd do a fun wee graphic or something.
Yeah.
But I think. Do you know what it is though? It's like most people don't know. Like, who was I talking to this the other week at a gig? Do you remember like some of the awful gig posters there used to be? Like just.
Can I show you that? We'll go back to it later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you did. You showed me that already the other day. It's a picture of his dick. And here, I'm always happy to see it. But
yes. I mean, you didn't even have to squint there.
So you wouldn't pay somebody to design a poster for you?
I would, but however, I'll show you an example. This was a work in progress that I made on AI myself of what my potential new show might be. And I think it looks
What's
good.
going on with your heads? You look like Desperate Dan.
It's supposed to be sort of cartoonish, you know.
But no, it's not cartoonish enough.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
You look like somebody's going to go around and go, "You're not welcome in this area, love." You know.
But that's my vibe.
That is your vibe, to be fair. You do have the vibe of a housebreaker.
But then that was brilliant, wasn't it?
That was also good, yeah. So like.
But you know what? I don't think I'd use it professionally, but personally I would.
Yes, I think that's how I feel about it. I think there's times where you go, I'm doing a job application or something, you go, tidy this answer up.
Well, that's what I would use it for if I'm putting the pitch together or something. I'd be like, organise it, but then I go back to it to make sure.
You don't just go, that's it, done.
Yeah. It just takes a wee, to me it saves me a bit of time doing some things.
It's like, so that gig I run, we sell the tickets on Eventbrite. And you can always, there's other gigs in November where you're like, whenever you're putting your event up, it gives you like a couple of suggestions for what the bio could be.
Yeah.
And they're so generic and shite. And then you'll see other gigs, you go, like, at least write your own bio. Not just, you're guaranteed a night of enormous hilarity. Yes. And you're like, nobody talks like that.
Yeah. I would never use it to actually create words, you know. Mm-hmm. Pictures, yes. Like, for example, when Pope Francis died, R.I.P., on Easter Sunday, I thought, you know what would be funny? It's like one in, one out, you know, because Jesus rose on Easter Sunday and the Pope died. Substitute football.
Yeah, but Jesus didn't rise every Easter Sunday.
Yes, but on this one
he rose on one specific Easter Sunday.
Shush! Don't be pedantic.
Hey, I've got half a theology degree.
But I thought we would make for a fun image, and it was.
Yeah,
you know, 33, 88.
Yeah, there
you go. But there are other things.
88's also code for Heil Hitler.
88 is.
Yeah, 8th letter of the alphabet.
Oh, why? 88. Heil Hitler.
Neo-Nazis use it like as tattoos and stuff.
So
I'm not saying the Pope was a neo-Nazi. Probably wasn't, actually. Although he did live in Argentina, like a lot of them.
And to be fair, the last one fully was. So.
Well, he was in the Hitler Youth.
Yeah, I mean, see if we're both hanging about and you're like, oh, who's more of a Nazi? Just the guy that went to Beavers or the guy that was in the Hitler Youth? You're going to be swaying towards the one.
I don't know. You haven't been to Beavers, no?
No, true. You haven't been in near any Beavers in a long time.
I was in Church Lads Brigade, which is like Boys Brigade but more Protestant.
Called Church Lads.
Church Lads Brigade, Church Lads, CLB, woo. And it was like, you do you wear a wee Thunderbirds hat and you do you go every Thursday night in a bit of games and stuff. And
you wear a Thunderbirds hat. That's class.
You know, we like one of them,
like a good burger.
like a working good burger, yeah, and a wee uniform, and then you have a display at the end of the year where you do a bit of marching, and then like funny thing they would do, like it was all a bit weird. Like they did one that was like synchronized swimming, but obviously no water, so it was just a load of wee boys in like swimming trunks.
No.
Yeah, in a hall full of people watching. We did like stars in your eyes. We did wrestling one year. We did like a Royal Rumble.
Oh wow.
But I remember the one way, there was the point where wrestling was huge, like the Attitude Era kind of thing, and we were all the time. Anytime they give you a free minute, we're all wrestling each other and all, and like people were getting hurt. So the like leaders brought us all in, and we're like, right, boys, like we've had enough of this, right? If you want to wrestle all the time, go start a wrestling club. But that's not what this is for. And we're all as one. We're like, I didn't know we could start a wrestling club. Let's do that instead.
So you left the Christian Lads Brigade.
Yeah, joined the grapple gang.
The grapple gang. The double G grapple gang. Wow. That's impressive.
So yeah, I won the best boy cup a couple of times when I was,
the best boy cup. I would love you to have that trophy somewhere.
I know you had to give it back at the end of the year.
But you maybe if you've won it twice, you've done the double. You should be getting an honorary.
Well, I mean that's it fell on deaf ears, and then it always closed the display by everybody singing "God Save the Queen."
What a great! That sounds like a lot of fun to watch.
No,
if you're a pervert, actually,
yeah,
boys in their swimming trunks doing synchronized swimming on the ground.
Yeah, it's awful. Bare feet on a dirty church hall floor.
I got into trouble one time at the Beavers because I pulled a boy's trousers down to unveil his bum. But you know what I'd done? I roll up pin and I grabbed it tight, the shorts, and that was it.
Oh, well, here, you got to do what you got to do.
Bum. I was doing a roll up pin because I've.
One time a guy picked me up for Tombstone Pile Driver and dropped me.
Oh.
So I like fell on my head. It was really sore.
I remember there was a boy in Hollywood who I got up for a power bomb once in on the soft. It sounds so bad. On the soft rubber underneath a slide or underneath a slide or swings.
Yeah.
That would still hurt.
Oh, of course it would. Yeah.
So I don't know why, but I got him up to give him a power bomb, but his area stank, and I dropped him like his arse BARSE taint, whatever
his
it was.
BARSE?
His arse BARSE taint.
His arse BARSE taint?
Yeah, isn't the BARSE the back where the back meets the arse? The BARSE, and the taint's where it taints your arse.
I've never heard the term BARSE
Yeah,
before.
BARSE is the back arse area. So some way when I wafted that whole area into my face, it smelt so bad, I just dropped him, and it was like...
Did he hurt himself?
A bit, but he was quite stocky, so I think he didn't have much neck.
That's why he needs to scrub.
Wasn't a good moment, and it was definitely not clean tracksuit bottoms, and definitely not clean BARSE taint anus.
No, he probably didn't even wipe his hole that day.
No, and I mean I wouldn't like.
Maybe it was psychological warfare. He knew you were going to get him up for the thing. He's like, "That's my counter move. I just smell really bad."
Do you remember whenever Bret the Hitman Hart was fighting Jerry the King Lawler in the Eat Your Foot match, or like
kiss my foot? The loser had to kiss the winner's foot,
and he was like putting his foot in cow manure and all the king and stuff, and then Bret put the king's foot in his own mouth.
Yeah. Do you remember Naked Midian?
Yes, Naked Midian. Was that Attitude Era Naked Midian or just afterwards?
No, it was like end of 2000. And yeah, Naked Midian. There was a wrestler called Midian who was shite anyway. He looked like he dressed himself with stuff he bought in Hot Topic.
Henry Godwin was he to start?
Yeah, he was a pig farmer. And then Naked Midian was just him wearing a fanny pack and supposedly nothing else.
Yeah.
But they put like fake skid marks on his bum and all.
Yeah.
And then he did a frog splash and the wee fanny pack lifted. I was like, oh my God, this is awful. It only lasted about 3 weeks because amazingly you couldn't really put that on TV.
Yeah.
Some sad old man's ball bag.
But now he's a very good chef, apparently. Midian, like
he owns like a barbecue restaurant or something.
Yeah, apparently he's high end. But he doesn't. He looks like the kind
that
of guy.
That wasn't poo on his bum. That was barbecue sauce.
Yeah, true. Well, true. I mean, that'd make for a nice stink face if you done that. Barbecue sauce stink face.
Would it make for a nice stink face?
No, I mean,
or would it forever associate barbecue sauce in your mind with a sweaty asshole?
Yeah, I mean, and if it's a bad BARSE smell,
stop saying BARSE.
You don't need a Barcelona. You've
made this word up.
Yeah, where your back meets your arse, your BARSE. No.
It's your crack. That's just your crack.
Well, true. Neck, back, pussy, and crack. The full work. Apparently, though, Rikishi was a big Samoan wrestler back in the day.
With a huge bum.
His bum didn't make sense.
No.
Like a lot of the big boys now don't have no one's bum's as large. Like even Umaga had a big-ish bum, but it was nowhere near.
No,
Rikishi
all
size.
his weight was in his bum.
Yeah.
And he was 400 pounds. So
It was a big arse, but he used to. But apparently he would like properly get the shower up there and all, and
I'd make
clean
sure it
out
was
the
nice and
arse
fresh.
and have like a nice bit of talc and all in it. So
Good
apparently
lad. Good lad.
The stink face just smelt of talc.
Looking after his bros, you know,
Yeah.
that's good.
But then like there's been more recently. Rhea Ripley's been starting to use the stink face on some people, and I think was it Nia Jax was like lying in the corner being like, "Do it," and she's like, "No." Because you want me to.
You want me to, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I only rub my bum in your face when there's no consent.
Yes, I'm only the. That probably is a form of assault, isn't it? Wouldn't it be to rub your bare bottom in someone's face?
Yeah,
without
but I mean,
consent?
wrestling's all a form of assault, isn't it?
Yeah, true. And the 1-2-3 kid, X-Pac, he used to rub his crotch in your face.
At the Bronco Buster.
I
Do you know
hate
one
that
time
move.
he so that move was like guys lying down in the corner and he would run at them and then like basically just bounce his crotch up against their face a few times. But he used to do it like now and again where the person would move and then he would land on the turnbuckles. One time he was doing that on an indie show, like a low level show when he was past his best, and the guy moved and he hit the turnbuckle and it ripped his anus open. What a lovely image on
BARSE,
this, the holiest of days.
Yeah.
Actually, Easter Tuesday's not a holy day, but
And also, this is 3 weeks down the line, so don't worry about it.
ah, yeah, here
Yeah.
you are. Well, here, May, mental. Can't
Mental
believe all
May.
those other people died.
Yeah. I don't know.
Want to venture a guess?
What?
Who might die?
Oh no. Gary Busey.
Gary Neville.
Yeah, oh no. Apparently Gary Busey is a Busey is a thing. James McKigney informed me on last week's podcast.
Yes, a boy pussy.
Yeah, which is a bumhole, I believe.
Yeah, bumhole.
Speaking of like that, this is why a lot of times I question why I do what I do, how I get away with doing what
Sometimes
I do.
I question why you do what you do, Dave, to be honest.
It's times like this that I realise this is why I exist.
To find out about Boosie.
I am a segue master. Nobody segues like me. Somehow I've gone from X-Pac's ripped anus into a Busey and to a BARSE.
And James McKigney, who everybody loves.
Yep.
You can't not think about James McKigney and not be happy, you know?
No, James McKigney. Actually, James McKigney was here today, but I didn't get to see him because the last time he was here, he left his wallet. And
He's a bit bumbling, you know?
Pardon, excuse me.
He's a bit bumbling.
I don't know if you
Bumbling.
can say that anymore. It's pretty offensive.
I love James. I remember I did a gig with him one time and the bar staff complained about him.
Sorry, the BARSE staff.
Fuck off. The bar staff, the people who worked in the bar, complained about him because they thought he was pretending to be gay in a homophobic way.
Oh no! Where was this?
I'm not going to name the venue, but you can probably guess.
Yeah.
And
Is it? Does it have? Is the second part of it? Is it something that could also be used as a derogatory term to an opposite of a booster?
yeah.
Okay.
So the person who did this doesn't work there anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But they were very unhappy. They said, you know, he's pretend to be gay, like it's really homophobic. And you're like, actually, ironically, you're being homophobic because
Yes.
you're going, he couldn't possibly be gay.
Yeah. And this is why Black Mirror exists.
And he is gay. I've seen the photos.
Oh, yeah, he is gay. And I've seen the photos. I've seen the videos.
Oh, I've seen the videos
I've been there front row. I've been there.
for
I'm
screening.
I'm in a relationship with James.
No. Do you know what? That would be a big
Oh.
beardy, especially at the minute. Like your beard's out of control.
It is. It's wild.
Although my girlfriend said you look well. She likes it.
Nice.
She liked the wee monkey hat as well, which I mean I'm less keen on. But
Yeah, you know what? It's better than this. I think I've just been wearing this because it's a nice day. I've got a peak cap on.
no, you're very like you look like you have a trad wife.
Yeah, I do, don't I? And people have also told me I look like I murder women and drive trucks cross country.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, not necessarily in that order.
No, I mean, but I've heard rumors now. I know this is not your thing, but
So you're going to ask me anyway.
I've heard rumors that truck stops in America are very bizarre places,
I've heard that too.
like with showers and all, and there's all sorts going on.
Yeah, because
in the
people drive
showers and,
thousands of
but
miles.
apparently in there's bad omens.
Omens.
People are having sex.
Well, why is that
In
a
the
bad omen?
showers.
If anything, that's a good omen.
But like you're there to wash. A shower to me, unless it's in your personal house, public showers to be washed in, and that's as far as it goes.
Even in your own house, you know, I always feel like showering together the first time you do it, you're like, oh, this is great. And then you realize it's really impractical, especially if you're
Yeah.
bigger. You know, it's like,
But what's also annoying is one person's under the shower head.
yeah,
whilst
no,
you're just
no,
cold,
you
and then-
need like an immersive shower room.
yeah.
But I don't know, the fucking heating bills for that would be
Yeah,
insane.
a wet room, like you don't want a wet room.
Wet room screams
Yeah.
pensioner.
Yeah, you don't want it just for the off chance of maybe having some sort of dalliance once a year.
Once
You know,
a year,
it's
because that's what it would be
yeah,
like.
it would
You wouldn't be
very
like,
rare.
yeah, no, it's like the old, sex in water.
Yeah,
Well, the water washes away anything that makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
So then you're just left with this weird chafy.
like you used. I don't know if you do it anymore. You did a bit, which it sticks with me for many a thing, and it is about that the bed is the best place.
Oh, I do.
for
So
sex,
actually,
and-
that's an old bit that I've brought back.
yeah,
But yeah, the bed's the best place to have sex.
yeah, and it's
It's
and,
built for it.
and I hear all these people would say to me, but like I have never had sex in a car.
You haven't.
No, I'm not built for it, and also
No,
you've
more
never
accurate, the car's not built for it.
No, the car's not built for it. And
You need a pickup truck.
I would need a flatbed.
Is this why you're asking about truck stops? Because
Yes,
you're like,
I'm like,
I've got a truck now. Because I want to bang on it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like people are like, that's so weird. I'm like, no, it's not weird. I haven't done it in a bed more than once, and it's fine. You know, I think that's like
Yeah, I've done it round the house.
on the floors.
Floors, dining room table.
Go, my dining room table's my pride and joy. I wouldn't dare do it. on my
It
dining
wasn't
room
my
table.
dining room table. It was
Oh.
from my parents' house. Sorry. Hope my dad doesn't listen to this.
Oh, no.
He doesn't give a fuck about it.
I will find them out.
And just go.
I
Sorry,
will-
it's not that dining table isn't there anymore. So
Yeah, because you read through it, you broke it, you destroyed it, you read it into the ground. It's on the.
there's just this pile of dust
Yeah.
which went straight up my BARSE. It was terrible.
Oh, it's straight into the bars. What's that estate in Lisburn called?
Balmacash.
It's on the Balmacash bonfire. That's where it is. Now.
I'm actually. Well, I will have gigged in Balmacash at this point.
Nice. What are you doing there?
Just in the football club. Apparently, it's very good. Me, Willie, and Mickey.
Nice.
So the football club guys, they're always quite well paid, and like
Yeah.
they're always. Well, we did a football club gig a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was good, wasn't it? The shorts.
Yeah, Shorts was a good time. Enjoyed that a lot.
Nice crowd, lovely setup. You know where you sort
Yeah.
of think when you go into places like this, like, they were putting wee candles on all the tables and all. It was
Yeah.
nice.
And it was good fun. Big shout out to Shorts for having us.
Yeah,
Lovely
absolutely.
time.
Well, back anytime.
Yeah, and Balmacash, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Who sorted that? Who got in touch
Willie.
with you? Willie. I would have guessed.
Because it's big prod team, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I got a message. I think from Ballyclare Comrades, which is actually a team I'd heard of, which is
Yeah.
nice, and Derryaki Cricket Club.
Nice. That's a gig we're going to do together.
Yeah, well, you just went here. I'll do that for you. I was like, all right, I wasn't all right. Yeah,
Yeah. I like cricket clubs. I feel like we've done bowling clubs together.
the bowling
We've done
club. The
cricket
bowling
clubs
club
and
was
football
all
clubs.
right, wasn't it?
It was one of the weirdest gigs of my life.
Well, what I remember about it was the second half was you and Ronan Linsky.
Yeah.
You carpooled, but you were down. Was it you were on the Blame game the next week? So you'd went to watch a recording.
Yes.
Ronan was on at Lavery's,
Yeah.
and then you were both late. I don't know what happened, and then you got lost going to it or
No,
something.
what happened? Ronan was late.
Well, there's a shock.
And then if you're late out of Lavery's, you can't really get stopped out the front of Lavery's. So you end up having to go past the crescent and the circle around again.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to circle around twice
Right.
before he came, which adds together is probably 10, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
which knocks us back to being late. Then by the time we got there, the cricket club was Belmont.
Belmont Bowls
Bowling
Club, yeah.
Club. And by the way, that's become one of the most hip places to be.
And
Belmont
it's
Bowling Club.
cheap drink,
Great
and they've
spot.
about 4 bars in there. If you're ever over in
Oh.
East Belfast, it's great. I think you just sign in, don't
But
you?
it's
There's
hard to get into as a member.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Belmont Bowling Club. If you want to give me an honorary membership, I would.
I would love that. I already have a
Alan-
season ticket from Lisburn Distillery, but I would take an honorary membership.
honorary Belmont Bowling Club membership.
Would
I
love
take
that.
it. I would come
Well-
down for a roast. Apparently, they do nice grub in there too.
So glad you said that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's that kind of club?
Yes.
Yeah.
But by the time we got there, we eventually got in, and it was like a maze to get into.
Aye, because it was way at the
Oh.
back of the building. So you had to go through.
But
Like,
then we rang the front door, and there's a woman went to go to the toilet.
they do that. Just look at you and
She
then
just
walk
looked
on.
at me and I went on the toilet, but then I battered. I was like, "We want in," and I think she saw me, and it's like if he is the sort that if he keeps battering, he will get in. So
Meanwhile, I'm emceeing the gig until they get there, and it was all like because so I'd done like 10 or 15 the first half, couple of acts, break. Would made the break like 25 minutes because I was trying to kill as much time as possible. Got on, no sign of us. So after about 15 minutes, I actually went to the audience and went, I'm not gonna lie to you folks, the second half has not arrived yet, and I'm just filling time. I did 25 minutes before bringing Ronan on.
But then when we went on, it was a great time. I remember actually dancing across the one of children's hair bubbles, gross. Dancing across the floor and stuff, because there was I don't know, tables and chairs were a wee bit far away, and the table, and then the mic didn't work, and somehow they're all things that happen at gigs that make for a shit gig, but somehow we pulled it off.
It was good fun.
I remember,
although it was also the last one.
Yeah, true, the very last ever, because now they're focusing on cuisine and beverages and having people wait to get a membership.
Well, the thing is, if you've got people queuing out the door just to get in to have a drink, you don't need to put entertainment on.
True, right. And would you is there any clubs you're a member of or anything you're...
No, I would like to do. My dad is on the darts team and all for the Linfield Supporters Club in Lisburn.
Oh, done a gig in there.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah, anytime there's ever been a gig in there, apparently it's been class.
Yeah.
So I would like to do there just because, I was in there a load of times,
Yeah, that's a good time.
They're actually a nice wee room with that tiered seating and all. It's good, yeah.
I'm only
football clubs of the future. My theory is, see if you could get one a month, but 6 or 8 different
you could
clubs.
Do a circuit.
You do a wee circuit, and they usually pay pretty well.
No, I've heard a few stinkers.
Oh, I did one. I don't mind.
Banger, was it?
Didn't do no Dunmurray. Just the team. So the way they're set up is quite a small room, but there's no stage or anything. There's just a microphone in the corner, right?
Those.
But then, so at the front was all the team, and everybody behind them. Everybody behind was enjoying it. The team had been on an away day in Island McGee and had hired a coach for end of season or something. And so they had been drinking from 2 o'clock.
Classy,
and then it was 9:30, and it was just all the comedians just did their time. You know that thing where you go, I don't care that I'm in the middle of a bit, I'm getting off. Yeah. So
that sucks the balance of life.
But I would do it again, but it would just be you need to do it on a non-match day.
Yeah.
You need to do it on a Friday night or something. But multiple people came up to me before I was leaving, being you were great, you fucking disrespectful bastards. No, they're all raging.
Well, that's a good thing.
Nice club though. Nice club. Dunmurray's alright.
But no, we did a gig there at the weekend in the Beehive. Speaking of people coming up to you, as I was on, now I must say I really enjoyed myself. I had a really nice time. I thought it could have gone either way when we got there because it was a bit rowdy. But I think by
West's
the end,
always rowdy,
it was a
isn't
great
it?
time. But you don't understand.
I'm not West.
You're not
I do live in the West now. Though.
Yeah. That's almost become a Bernie Mac bit for us now.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Actually, I really am.
Yeah.
That is the problem. So, well, first of all, there's a guy who started stand-up called Sean Higgins who looks like me.
Yes.
Like an evil me.
Yes.
And I was on first half, and Sean hadn't been on yet. And then during the break, somebody came up to him and congratulated him on his set.
Yeah.
It's he wasn't on, it was me.
You're I want that adulation.
Thank you got up anyway, and you were doing you were doing well. You were doing all your usual stuff about looking like Pavarotti and all that stuff, right?
The vintage stuff, the classics.
The classics, the greatest hits, you know what I mean? It's getting up and playing Highway to Hell. It's that's what we came to see.
That's what they came to see.
So you were having a great time, and then this guy, must have been about 60, was blinded, and he walked past me and he went, I know, that's just not funny to me. Some fat slut putting himself down. And then he hugged me and then left.
I mean,
fat slut. So, my girlfriend said to me, why did you tell Dave he said that? He called him fat. I went, because he called him a fat slut.
Yeah.
And then on his way back, the guy went for a smoke, and on his way back, and he just patted me back and went, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, he went, so, Dave, you're a fat slut. I think that should be the title of your next show.
My new show. Now, the only problem is you'd struggle to promote that. Because people would be we're not putting that word up. It's a rude word, slut and all. But I'm the fat slut.
What about fat slag?
Maybe didn't call me a fat slag, don't I?
Fat whore.
Fat slut is a funny.
Yeah, actually, fat whore doesn't even mean
but you know
whore.
what?
It means just anything that you're an old whore.
You're not. But that's the thing. This is why, if you're getting into bits and you're writing bits, the phrase fat slut is funnier than fat slag or
you could definitely do a bit about that.
Me, a man, the
you're
word
literally talking about how little sex you have.
And
you're the opposite of a slut.
I'm a fat slut, but that was so funny to me.
I knew you'd laugh. I was I have to tell him this.
But then the good thing about it is, you could take it two ways. This is how you have to view your glass. Is your glass half full or is it half empty? I've lost about 13 kilograms now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident.
Feeling
I'm working
slutty.
towards it. I'm feeling slutty. And then he calls me a fat slut. I'm like, you know, I'll take that. See, if you'd have gone back at the start, I'd have been really hurt by that. But then it's because I know I'm a fat slut.
Yeah.
And that's
Own,
what gets
own
you.
it. Own it.
But you know what I mean? Do you ever get that when people say stuff to you and you know they're right? You're much more defensive.
Yes, 100%.
You know.
So I just noticed what's on this mug. It's so strange.
It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird.
Why does Kieran look like Nicola Sturgeon? What's
I
that?
know he does. I don't quite get what Kieran's about.
What
there.
was this? This was a Christmas?
We did a Christmas show called Jingle Balls many years ago.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and that was the lineup.
McCann
In the
wearing a
black
fucking
box.
snood and...
Yeah, and McCann looking about 10.
well, no, he still is in my mind. I know he's like 30 now, but...
I know, but then you see him and you look at him there, you go, oh, he was innocent once. And now you look at him and go, this
I know.
man's been through it.
I saw like his like third ever gig. I remember he who was it was a poster, a Justin Bieber poster he put up, and he would like try to fuck it. It was quite strange. And now he's got billboards in Leicester Square.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's where I went wrong. Should have fucked more posters.
Well, you should do that as a performance piece. Your next
What, fuck
show is
posters?
just to fuck a poster.
I put a photo of you and call it fat slut.
Yeah, just fuck it.
I love McCann. I just wish he'd reply to a text.
Oh, sorry, he can't. He doesn't know how. Oh, I was going to get that myself. Look at this. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Yeah,
he can't reply to text.
No, he's lethal for. Do you know what he drives me mad about him? You text him to reply, you ring him, he answers the phone immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, like just.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go to this for?
He's the man who will make me sad with blue ticks. Like you'll
Yeah.
see it, and I'll go, "What's it take you to?"
Or no, sometimes worse, the complete absence of blue ticks, and you go, not even opening my message.
No.
I don't know. And we're mates. Like it's not that I've done anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, back to you
But
being a
we
fat
use-
slut.
We use the condescending phrase that you get sometimes. Do better, lads. Lads. Do better.
Do better, church lads.
Yeah, church lads. That's actually true. You know, now we're here, we're having the chat. Let's just say to people who are associated with the church and maybe bad things the church are responsible for, do better.
Yeah, they were definitely they were not going to stop until we said that.
But then sometimes you think that, like, be the change you want to see in the world, my friend.
So
Like,
don't
maybe-
be a pedo.
Yeah. And also maybe calling people out that you think saying that might make a difference. That might just be the thing. Like, well, you could be having a minister / priest / elder / whatever who may be doing, and I'm not just meaning sexual things, which sometimes are a bit hack in comedy to make jokes about priests being sex offenders. But, you know, you could just, if someone goes to church, it's maybe a bit mean, maybe verbally abusive, maybe say, you know, different things. Maybe siphoning money from ill means out of the church into their own pockets. Things like that. They might just need to hear this and go, actually, I've never realised what I'm doing is wrong. I'm in the parochial hall or wherever listening to the Sly Guy podcast. And maybe that's the sign from God that you need to do better. What do you think about that?
I think you have a very inflated sense of your own influence.
Listen, if you can open up a phone and say, listen, I'm an influencer by my makeup, I can influence change. Especially now the Pope's passed away, there's going to be a little bit of a sort of purgatory period in between here now, so maybe I can make a difference in that time.
Are you campaigning to be Pope?
No, because I am.
You're mixed, aren't you?
Yeah,
you could
I'm
be.
mixed.
Are you baptized Catholic?
I'm a fuck. No,
No,
I'm
well then you
not.
can't be Pope.
No, am I too pious?
Well, that's what turned you into a fat slut. Pious. That's terrible.
That was bad.
That
But I
was
appreciate the effort. I like what you tried. I respect it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's definitely an avenue of career path. I will not travel. I think. But you know what?
But you have to be celibate as well.
Well, I mean, I'm involved.
But you're
in
a
celibate,
slut.
You know, true slut. Incels, they're a problem now, aren't they? Where do those
We
guys come
gotta
from?
we gotta fix everything now, dude.
We actually were talking before we started. Maybe that's sometimes what people need is to have we think after they've ejaculated more. You know, and if I'm here talking to the conclave and all those boys, maybe have we.
I will say you'll have more influence over a load of incels that statistically listen to this than you will over a load of like religious people.
But you know what? I actually don't think I'm a big incel follower guy. I don't think I'm a leader of incels.
I actually don't think generally here there's a lot of incel-y
Because I don't like incels. Call me an edgelord, but I don't like those guys.
Yeah, it's quite a strange culture, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, you know, like you can pay for it. Like if that's really all it is, you just want the ride.
But I also think that whole thing is a big contributor to the issues that there are in the world today, and the attitude. See, I think you should be beat if you would even think what Andrew Tate says is a wee bit right. You know, I think if you're like, oh, I like what he says. The guy doesn't have a jaw. Sorry, and he speaks like this, and he's clearly a fucking idiot. You know, it's like
He's dreadful, like
awful.
But you know, it's we're getting very deep here, but it's very common that people who offer simple solutions to complex problems are quite popular.
Yeah,
It's like you know the part of the appeal of Trump is he goes, oh, I'll just fix it, no problem.
yeah,
This isn't complicated at all, and then he completely fails to, but it's everybody else's fault that he wasn't able to, you know. And you know, things like immigration, all people go, just get rid of them all, and you're like, what does that mean? And Andrew Tate goes, it's fucking women's fault though, isn't it?
but it's all down to black and white. I believe in the world. I believe people.
What about Indians and Chinese people and stuff?
Oh, those guys. No, I mean just in terms of the shade.
Yeah.
People don't accept there's grey areas. And that's
Oh
the
yeah,
problem.
no, there's no, you know, no nuance. There's no nuance in anything.
No, and you can't talk to people either right or wrong. Sometimes people it's like the troubles, my friend. You know, I often think whenever I would watch the news as a child, I would look upon Newsline, I would see interface violence, and I would see a community representative from a Republican background come on and go.
I like how hesitantly you're choosing all your words.
I was
here.
going to say nationalist, but then I thought it's probably more, you know, nationalist. You can be nationalist without, you know, being too aggressive. So, I'm a Republican background, and they come out to be like, we were here, and they attacked us, and we were blah, blah, blah. And then they won't go, but we should probably have not shot back into them, you know? And then they come in from the loyalist side and go, it's a disgrace that they're here, and they're shooting in at us, and they don't acknowledge that they actually were the ones that started throwing the bricks. So I think in order to move forward, we need to look inside and go, maybe we're doing things wrong too. Their response, not good, but also, and I think that's the problem we have in the world, everyone just wants a yes or a no, and there's no, you know, there's right, there's wrong, and there's no between. And I'm just
What
saying,
type of podcast is this?
I'm just trying to.
It's very philosophical.
I'm feeling very. I'm a stoic
Here,
now.
Dave's funny, Alan's funny. I bet you that'll be hilarity when they get on together. No. Let's have some philosophical fucking debate.
Let's figure it out.
Between a baldy cunt and a fat slut.
I mean, if ever we had a podcast together, the
fat slut and the bald
cunt, the bald cunt and the fat slut.
The adventures of
fat
fat slut and bald cunt.
I mean, a fat slut with a bald cunt.
Fair play. You had to get somebody. Can you reach? That's the question.
I mean, I bet you someone has typed that into the internet as a search.
Yeah. You think? I'd say that's probably in the top 20 categories on Pornhub.
Fat slut, bald cunt. That sounds like it's like a kids' TV show almost. Like if it was like
bald, fat slut, cunt. You see, you can do it in any order because Google will figure it out for you.
Oh, maybe AI. They would just say this violates our policies. I'd be like, okay, I'm sure it does.
Bald cunt and a fat slut. Yeah.
And
then you put it in Pornhub, 130,000 results.
I know, like Pornhub's the only place where like that sort of horrible language still exists, and it's okay.
There's a guy. Do you remember VRL Vlad? You did stand up about a decade, a Romanian guy.
Yes.
Yeah. But he had a bit.
Did he look a bit like me when I had hair?
Yeah, he looks a bit like Rusev from WWE.
Okay, yeah.
But he used to have a bit about how actually people think that Pornhub is like a cesspit, but it's the nicest part of the internet. He's like, because you can comment and go, who's that, you know, taking a load in the eye at 2:52, and somebody will reply and give you a link to all our videos.
Yeah.
While on normal YouTube, if you ask a question, they'll call you a bigot and tell you to fuck off. It's like, that's the nicest part of the internet.
Yeah.
People helping each other out at a time when they don't even have both hands free.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard.
I mean, I said this on stage, it's true. I just am not a porn guy at all.
No,
No,
not at all.
don't get it.
Well, it's people like to masturbate.
Well, I like to.
watching-
I'm not saying I don't masturbate. Come
No,
on,
but I
hey.
mean, like that's
boy,
what.
do I masturbate.
No, but I mean, I'm just if you don't know, if you don't get porn's where people are, I believe actors anyway, doing simulating like real life sex, so people can get sexual pleasure out of it, and it's a big business.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard it's pretty popular.
You know what? I wouldn't say that I am a.
You turned into Triple H here. What's it?
I'm not an avid user, but I can see the pros and cons to it for sure. You know, I can definitely see why people would like it. I can see elements of it that are appealing, and at the same time, I can see where
Is there a
problems
BARSE
arise.
category? Nice BARSE.
No, I mean I don't know. I've never looked for BARSE before because BARSE is not the thing that I really like. You know, but then I think there's
Is
certain
BARSE
things-
going to be the episode title?
It's going to have to be, isn't it?
BARSE play?
Or it's. I mean, I don't think BARSE play would work well, but I don't think fat slut in the ball cunt's gonna get past the YouTube.
No.
So yeah, I think we'll call it BARSE play.
BARSE.
But yeah, I can definitely see why people like pornography.
I need to get that on your gravestone.
Yeah.
Here lies Dave Elliott. I can definitely see why people like pornography.
Yeah, but I mean, it's that. But there's problems there too, isn't there? Porn world, I'm sure, is quite an experience. Quite a.
Not as cutthroat as comedy, though. Do you know what I mean? And actually, we're humiliating ourselves somewhat more for even less money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think of something when you're starting out? Some of the like things you do where you're like, those awful gigs at the start, and you go, I was doing that for free.
Yeah.
And gaining nothing, and actually humiliating myself in front of people.
Yeah, it is humiliating.
In a way that the average person would be like, that is my absolute worst nightmare. Like, there's no way I'd ever put myself in that scenario.
I've never thought about that before. Like, we have lived really people's worst nightmares.
We
know?
consistently live people's worst nightmares, hanging out with Dave Elliott.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I actually did? I was in Auschwitz a couple of months ago, and whenever we were getting the tour there, and the woman was like, can you imagine how terrible this would have been? This is the worst of place on earth. I'd be like, have you ever died in Dundonald for free? Pales in comparison, my friend. This is nothing. You think it's bad, eh? Building your own crematorium, eh?
The worst gig I think I ever had, I was like less than a year in, and it was in Antrim, which is Antrim. You're a lovely wee town, but I don't think I've ever had a good gig in Antrim.
No, you know what? I had a real cracker at the top of the town once. It's a great wee gig.
Yeah,
that's
Adam Moogie's gig. Yeah.
At Moogie's Funhouse. What a great time that was. But then I've had gigs in
The courthouse and all.
It's been stinkers, yeah.
So, like, I did it recently there. It was Luke McKibben MC
Boring.
That's weird because he hasn't been on here, so people might think you actually hate him.
No. You know what? You know what he needs to do?
Yeah.
Send me a wee reminder. Be like, oh, Dave, and I'll be like, anytime you come on. Ronan's another one I want on. Get him on.
Yeah.
But Ronan looks at his phone like maybe once a year after he.
You need to have him in person. Let's go do it now.
Yes.
So Ronan.
Boring.
And Butler.
Boring. Yeah.
And then me.
You know what? Strong lineup.
And nobody had a good time.
Yeah.
I did the gig. I can't remember where it was. It was organised by Graham Watson, who ran the PAV and all back in the day. And Kieran was on, and Fraser Robb, or Morgan Hurst as he was then.
Oh right, okay.
And somebody else.
Kieran Bartlett.
Okay. So like the lineup, you look at it now and go, that was a good lineup. But so there was nobody there. So then in the end, they just got people from the bar to come in for free, which is never a good idea.
No.
It was awful. It's the first time I ever took my shirt off on stage. I just was feeling mental. And it was just, it was the worst gig ever. I was humiliating. I was shite back then, really shite. And then Kieran closed, and Kieran in the end did fucking tribute by Tenacious D, and there was a mosh pit at the front of the stage. It was just deranged.
Wow,
so
weird.
Fraser dropped me off on the Lisburn Road. And at the time, I lived in Lisburn.
Oh, right.
Right? So I was like, I wasn't going to make him drive me to Lisburn, so I was like, I'll just get a taxi. But I was so sad about the gig that I went, I'll just walk it.
Oh, no.
So I walked from Belfast to Lisburn, which was, took me like 2.5 hours.
I was going to joke about that
Yeah,
and
then,
say, did you walk?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and it rained the entire time, and it was actually quite a powerful metaphor because my notes for my set, all the ink ran out of them because they were so drenched, so they were gone forever. And when I started walking, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do comedy anymore. And then by the time I got home, I was like, no, well,
Yeah.
who actually needed the walk.
Yeah, that's like
But,
something out of the Bible. That is. It's a biblical story.
Yeah.
And God Himself rained down into
And
your
washed
pocket.
away the shit material that I did again at my next gig, you know, because I didn't have anything else. Awful.
I didn't really know Fraser
The first time around, before he quit stand up.
when he's Morgan Hurst. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was one who, you know, like I love Fraser. As a guy, I think he's a great guy. I think he's really, really funny. I think he's really underrated as well.
I think he doesn't gig enough for me. He's like,
yeah,
everything, because he does really well. Like he did No Joke.
Yeah.
Fraser's 51. That should not be his crowd.
Yeah.
But just murdered, you know.
Yeah, but he is so funny. And I even like in the day when Fraser probably said himself, he was maybe a bit more difficult.
Oh no, I think
You
he would
know,
tell you that
and,
himself. I think he was.
He had a bit of a reputation then as being, you know, not the easiest guy to get on with. And I remember at the time just really not knowing him at all. And other people would say things about him or whatever. But I remember he put a special on YouTube. That was one of my favourite things.
Feels Human.
I loved it.
I loved that one. It was really good.
And I thought it was so funny. And it's actually, no joke, one of my favourite things. One of my favourite specials to watch. The bit he does about the cat food is one of my favourite bits.
Oh, but
of all time.
cat food isn't... Like, the things that are in cat food are not things a cat would eat.
Yes.
Like
and
beef.
Yeah.
Why would a cat be eating beef?
There's a line in it where and again, I don't remember quotes from a lot of things, but he goes, "Come here, you milky bastard!"
Yeah.
And it's just that thing. I laugh
There's
every time.
a
I
bit
see
in
it.
that he talks about where he's living in an apartment in Bradbury Court, and he heard when he went home one night, he heard somebody having sex. It was the unmistakable like noise of two people going at it. And then he says, "Do you know this bit?" Yeah. And then he says, all of a sudden, a third voice from the other side of the room went, "What are you doing it like that for? You're doing it wrong." And he says, "I doubled up laughing, and that was the first time I came in my own face."
Such a funny. I'm going to go home and watch that.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Because what I like about this, he didn't go on the nose with "I'm having a wank"
Yes.
until the very end. What are you doing it like that for? You're doing it wrong.
But
That is so. That's why I wouldn't want to have a threesome, because that's what I'd be afraid of. Somebody give me a fucking director's commentary.
Yeah, and then nothing would make your wee turger go away.
But
more than that.
we turger something to poo. But we turger todger is the word you're talking
No,
about.
I mean turgid because it's turgid.
Oh.
You're gonna get flaccid.
Yeah.
You know, very quick. You'll be no more Metal Gear Solid, no more Snake with that.
I wouldn't call it a snake like
No. Earthworm Jim,
tadpole.
Slug, Jabba the Slut.
Jabba the Slut.
That's my new show.
Dave Elliott, Jabba. Oh, and here, and then if you want, I'll wear a gold bikini and you can have me on a chain.
There you go. It's my new show. I love trying to explain how the mind of.
Do you know what?
comedian
You have my
works.
permission to use AI to make that poster.
Oh, shall we do it now?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, let me see what we're gonna do. Oh, Jabba the Slut.
Jabba the Slut holding Alan Irwin on a chain, dressed as Princess Leia in the gold bikini. Was Princess Leia a childhood crush of yours?
Pardon?
Was Princess Leia a childhood crush of yours?
No, because I didn't really watch Star Wars until I was young when I watched it. So it sounds very Asian.
I like a wee egg.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. My sort of whenever I started fancying women, like around that time was Hanson for a start, and then I found out they were boys. Yeah, I fancied the lead singer. She was my first love, and then Jerry Halliwell
Okay, yeah.
was about
How old are you?
38.
Actually, you're a couple of years older than me,
so
but no.
Jerry Halliwell, Pamela Anderson, Jet from the Gladiators.
See, I was a wee bit too young for all of that. You
But
know.
that was I came up in the
Mine
4
was all
era.
the WWF women. You
Oh,
know,
Trish.
late 90s, Trish Stratus, Lita, people like that. you know.
Lita. See, Lita did that thing where she pulled her pants up a wee bit over her trousers, and as for a young man, that did a lot.
Lita, I have to say, when I was at Comic Con, first time in
Mm-hmm.
my life last year, met Mick Foley, great. But Trish Stratus and Lita were there,
Oh wow!
and they both look fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
just really, like, have aged really well. Just, like, they're both, I think Lita turned 50 there the other day,
Yeah.
but they just looked great. You were like, if I look half as good as that, I mean, I don't even look a tenth as good as that right
yeah, I was
now,
gonna
but
say, Alan, like, come on.
Mick Foley just looked like Mick Foley, you know. Doesn't smell,
Yeah.
which surprised me. I think Mick Foley looks smelly.
Yeah, he does look smelly. Hold on, and
But
Make a picture of me as Jabba the Hutt and comedian Alan Irwin as Princess Leia. Let's go to see what this was.
It's going to be horrible, isn't it?
Either that or they'll say can't do it 'cause it's too close to Star Wars, you know. But yeah, I actually think Trish Stratus looks really well nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was one that I didn't fancy.
No,
back in the day
she would have been like number one in my mind, like, but
because it was those eyebrows or something.
Well, that very of the time, aren't
You know,
they? The wee
yeah,
skinny.
But then, like,
I love a big eyebrow. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
but they did a lot of, pardon me, I'm gonna be sick, sexual innuendo back in the day, didn't they? But not very subtle.
Oh, like the time where Triple H got hit with a chair and then he collapsed onto Trish in a 69 position.
Yeah.
And his wife was raging, even though she'd just seen him get hit with a chair and be knocked unconscious. She was like,
Yeah.
"You're deliberately putting your balls in that girl's face."
Speaking of which, there was something I saw the other day, and I thought that's a bit out of order. Was it the ravishing Rick Rude, like, carried Francine in ECW out of the ring with her full BARSE in his face?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not very of the time.
Well, it was of the time. It's not.
Yeah, but I mean,
What are they saying?
like, it says, can you upload a clear photo of yourself and one of Alan Irwin, please?
Fuck's sake.
Okay, hold on. Let me. We're gonna take one right now in our current. Let's lean forward. This is gonna be great. This is what we're gonna get. I will post this into the podcast here. Oh no, I look terrible. I should kill myself. Right. So let's
Don't do
upload
that.
these. No,
We'll never get the image that way. This will
let's
never. This
see.
will be lost to time, like tears and rain. You know what I'm saying?
like
Blade Runner?
your thingy, your set that day.
Yeah, gone forever. Until
Just
they did it again
upload.
at the next gig.
There we go. Now let's see. This is AI technology. Let's see how it goes. How it'll work. We'll set that to the side. And see what
I'm
happens.
excited.
I don't know if I am or not, because sometimes it really pulls it up for us and like delivers quality, and other times not so much. And
That's it. It's inconsistent. Actually, much like myself.
It's like life, isn't it? Life
Mm.
is just, you don't know. And speaking of life, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
is there a possibility you may be a dad by the time this episode
Yeah,
comes out?
100%. Yeah. So we so what date is it today? It's the 22nd. So we have an appointment on the 2nd of May, where I think if the process hasn't started, they're going to induce my girlfriend. So they'll book her induction probably for the following week.
Seduce? Did you say or induce?
No, that's already done. Induce.
Okay.
So
And how are you feeling about it? How are you both feeling? What's this?
I'm so tired all the time.
Well, my friend, spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping my body will eventually adjust.
It's gonna get worse.
I took a melatonin last night to get a really good sleep. I was like, and I did have a really good sleep.
Yeah, and what sort of form did you take that?
Just to be told.
And do you think that works, or do you think it's placebo?
No,
You
it
just take what you're on?
definitely works. I very rarely use it. There was one time I used it when I was going through a period of sort of like mild insomnia.
Uh-huh.
Is it looking good or bad?
It says I couldn't generate this because it violates our content policies. Oh, shut up. I'm going to say do something that doesn't.
Just do this as like the Chuckle Brothers now. Nobody gives a fuck about their copyright.
Nah. And then one of them's dead, so they're just the chuckle
Chuckle. I
guy.
know. They were a weird dynamic, weren't they? Because the bully was the younger brother.
Yeah. No, was he?
Yeah. Paul,
Yeah.
he's still alive. Barry's dead.
Yeah. Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was older though, wasn't he, Barry?
Well, there used to be 4 Chuckle Brothers.
Oh no.
They were like not vaudeville, music hall act.
Dance hall like Sean Paul. Big up the Chuckle Brothers.
To me, to you.
Barry. No Barry, no cry. Oh, rest in peace. 4 chuckles.
And there might have been more, but there was at least 4.
And they all looked the same. They're weird. I don't actually know what the Chuckle Brothers should look like in the end. Oh, how about this? I could make a fun Star Wars themed podcast promo poster. Yes, do that.
Do that then, yeah. It's just going to be like me as Princess Leia and you as Luke Skywalker or something. Isn't it?
Do that. I'll say yes, do that. But
So then why can he do a Star Wars themed poster but he can't do Jabba the Hutt?
I'm going to say do that, but make me similar to a Jabba the Hutt type creature.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then
I like the idea that this podcast ends up running for about 3 hours just because we're like, we can't possibly leave until
no,
we've got it.
I can't now. I can't. What is Jabba the Hutt? Is he a Hutt?
He's a Hutt.
Yeah. So make me
A slug A slug-like alien creature.
A slug-like alien hut.
Yeah.
So shit.
And Alan in a gold bikini.
And Alan in a gold bikini with a large penis. Oh, sorry, I said that out loud.
Well, I mean, at least they're doing it true to life, eh?
That's right.
No, they're not.
A slug-like alien hut and Alan in a golden bikini. Gyal.
Gyal.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what it does. This is a good example of humans fighting back against the machines. This is AI being battled by us in real time
To
on
make
the
something
podcast.
that has no value.
No, do you think that? But then if it looks well enough, I mean, I could pop it up here somewhere. Like that Pug Uglies poster. There's no more Pugs Comedy Club, so
Oh, is it done?
yeah, it's done.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's so I could get rid of that.
Sorry to hear it.
You know what? It's been a good run. We've had some great memories, and
Things just come to an end sometimes,
and
don't
it
they?
just comes to an end. And I wish them well.
And do you know what, I don't know about you, but like even as somebody who runs a couple of gigs, I don't really enjoy running gigs.
Nah, it's too much. And you know what? Another thing
You
is,
end up you're thinking about ticket sales and about booking people and things
Yeah.
like that instead of thinking about jokes.
yeah.
It just takes you away from the main thing.
And I also think that I find some comedians to be real arseholes. You know, like without meaning to be.
Yeah.
They're not reliable. They're people who are your friends. You should make sometimes a bit more effort to do things, but they're difficult. And you're like, why am I dealing with you? You know what? It's pissed me off sometimes.
Yeah.
And then one I really hate is if you've booked someone for a gig and then on the night they're like, "Can I go here because I won't go somewhere else, or can I do that?" It's like, well, no, you can't.
I've
Don't
done
ask.
that.
Yeah, but no, at least do it. In a
One
way.
night, the one last time I did Pugs, it was gig 1 of 3 that night. I had a big like world tour to Newton Ards and Bangor.
I mean, they're two places that are great to gig. Anyway,
That Bangor Comedy Club in Hop House is
Yeah.
pretty good.
see, I am torn with it a wee bit because I do a lot with Open House and do a lot in the courthouse and maybe shows with them and stuff, and I have a good following in Bangor, and I kind of just do solo shows maybe, or like
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't- and I
that
don't
makes
want
sense,
to,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Wouldn't be
just
it
draw
wouldn't be
that
the worst
out of it.
place if you had a new bit you wanted to try and you
Yeah.
just were like, "What's on?"
I might say to them because they have asked me to do it.
Has it drawn anything?
It has drawn something, but you're not in the bikini. I'm gonna say, can Alan please be in a bikini because you're in a.
Because I would like
golden
to
suit.
masturbate to this image.
Yes, it's so funny. I mean, I look like myself.
But also, do you look like Jabba the Hutt? Oh God, Stone Cold Steve Austin's injected too much venom.
Yes, it's, but I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pop it up onto the page for people to finally see. Maybe you know what? You just have to watch this on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio only of this, wherever you get your podcast, jump on over to YouTube and go to the very end of the episode after the point where it plays to the end. It'll be there, the picture.
And then it might be in the background for every
Yeah.
future episode.
And
Although you
it
can't
may
put
be.
it up until this episode is aired, because out of context.
Yes, that'd be
I mean,
very,
in
very
context
weird.
is pretty fucking mental.
I mean, what you can do nowadays, you can get canvases made. So I might get a wee canvas made of that and put it there. And also I might change some of these background things.
I think you
like-
should be getting rid of Hogan. Like,
Why is that?
who's this?
It's Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a bit wrong.
Yeah, but you know what? I've just got a new office in my house, so I might take him home and pop him into my office. Instead, I'm going to put the rated R superstar Cope in there instead. I won't. 'Cause
Cope.
I hate it. I can't cope with his name. I can't.
No,
Sorry.
the wrestler Edge
Yeah.
couldn't.
Lord.
His real name's Adam Copeland, which he
Uh-huh.
was using because he couldn't get the rest of the name Edge. And he went, "Oh, call me Cope."
Yeah. And he's got that. And like, he was my favourite ever.
Yeah, I don't get that either, to be honest. But
Why? Because he's
I
the
think he's
rated
a
R
bit shit.
superstar.
I think he's-
Superstar!
I think he's a bit shit.
Oh, but he did all the dastardly things. Like, he's involved in Mick Foley at WrestleMania. What a match that was.
That was a good match.
When he cashed in the first, I hated John Cena so much at that time, and he cashed.
You love
it
John
in.
Cena now, though.
I
He's your
love
favorite
John
guy.
Cena now. He's great. I think John Cena stands for
You ever
everything.
dressed a wee bit like him
I
from WrestleMania?
He stands for everything I stand for.
Being boring,
Yes, being a boring bald
but
guy.
past your best.
Yes, and I appreciate it. And I thought,
Are you
I
thinking about
thought-
announcing your retirement a year in advance?
I think I would, and then what I would do would be like, psych, once you take everyone's money, because you have bigger ticket sales ever. if
You
people
did,
think
but
you're
I
retired.
think if a bigger name here went, this is I'm done after this tour.
Yeah. I'll be a flat sellout.
Yeah. Well,
then
the
so many-
depressing thing would be though if you did that and it still didn't sell. You're
Yeah.
like, nobody wants to buy what I'm selling.
But then what would happen? Everyone do that, and then probably people are just doing tours and announcing tours and doing tours and announcing stop, take a break. No one cares that much about you.
I was
Sounds
looking
very-
for a very real place.
Yeah.
At the same time, as a man who largely makes his living from doing tour supports,
Yes.
do more tours. More tours, please.
More tours. Stop creating an image. I wasn't able to do it for violence or put him in a swim. Put him in a swimsuit.
Is it like it won't? Is it because it's going to be a sexy image?
I don't want them to be sexy. I don't want Alan to be sexy. Don't make it sexy. Let me see. Put him in-
You are swimming against my natural sexual magnetism, though.
I know. Maybe that's they know you're too sexy, and they're like, "This is too sexy for us."
I like just having Alan in the image is too
Yes,
sexy.
it is because now they've got you in a golden suit, which looks weird. You
Like
look
3PO.
Yes, you look a bit like him / Gold Dust. This is a weird combination.
That sounds pretty hot to me.
Yeah, C3PO Gold Dust. Wow. Yeah, you don't like John Cena, do you?
He's fine, but also watching him at WrestleMania the other day, I was like, "Oh, you're like washed. You know, you're like you're everything looks in slow motion."
But you know what I think? I think that was perfect because I think he did everything.
Stop pretending he was trolling us. He was just bad.
I think everything was done for that in a bad way. It was supposed to be shit, and it was shit. He's going to ruin wrestling, and that's fun. To me.
Travis Scott coming out
His music though was great,
down the giant ramp, so
Yeah.
it took him like an hour to get there.
but he's also so frail. It's not really believable.
Well, he looked like a wee boy in that ring.
Yeah. But I don't know what's going to happen now. Wrestling after WrestleMania, I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed it. a lot. You didn't. One thing I didn't like was the two same finishes of the triple threat and the fatal 4-way match. Exact same finish.
They love doing that.
Yeah, but I don't know. There wasn't enough.
Apparently, every match finish had the same camera angle, so people in the arena could start to spot it and be like, "Right, look where that camera is. This is it."
Yeah, but I mean, I thought I like to see Randy Orton in his pants, like the old style pants that he used to
Well,
wear.
also
It's
he's
good.
like, "What's going on?" He's frightening looking. He's like a big wall.
Yeah, he's big now, and he's going after John Cena now too. That'll be exciting. Wow.
Will it? It wasn't exciting the first time around, and now they're 15 years older.
I like older men though. It does it for me, my friend.
What do you mean? Does it for you?
I like to watch old men getting with old men.
Lemon Party. Do
Yeah, in the ring.
you remember Lemon Party? Those guys are probably all dead now.
Rest in peace, Lamb Party.
Yeah, they looked sort of dead then.
Yeah, but I'm getting really pissed off with this AI now. It's really fighting me back.
Right. Well, let me just see what you've got. I would
It
like.
says I wasn't able to create that version because it violates our content policies. If you've got another creative direction, like futuristic jumpsuit, I'm going to say, what about Alan in an athletic golden leotard? Oh, about Alan in an athletic golden leotard. I'm sorry that you have to witness this firsthand. Golden leotard.
Do you know this is good though? This is the limitations of AI.
It is. You know what?
Graphic
AI
designer do that, knock it off you
Yeah,
in 5 minutes.
exactly. Yeah, and then do the poster.
Straight up the bars?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't like a paper up the bars.
Like a sheet of paper.
Paper is my weakness. Don't like paper.
What? Because of paper cuts.
I wash my hands a lot. Like I don't like having dirty hands. I don't like having slimy, wet hands or anything. So I wash my hands a lot, and they tend to get quite dry. So then if
paper
they're dry,
already cuts it.
paper can really go. So I moisturize quite a fair bit and have to try to.
You do
protect
have
my
nice
to go
hands,
dry.
actually. In fairness.
Yeah, you know what? That's the truth, bro.
I love that. You get this in every podcast where you go, don't have anything to say to that, so I'll just front it out for a
Yeah,
minute.
but I mean, a lot of people. I don't know if people know this about me, but I have very clean hands and probably quite soft hands, I suppose, and I don't have a clammy handshake.
SAWFT.
Soft.
Soft.
Hated those guys.
Yeah, they were shy.
Yeah, they were annoying dudes. Oh,
We got
here
some?
are. I think so. I mean, they've gone to call it Dead on Arrival. I don't know why they've taken this upon themselves. They've written Dead on Arrival. Oh, I couldn't generate it because it still goes against it. I'm going to say, fuck you, AI.
Just show me what you've got.
Fuck you. I'm just said it. I just said it. I don't care about technology anymore.
That doesn't even look like me. Do you know who that looks like? Dan, but bald.
Yeah, let me go back to them and go make this look more like
That is unbelievable.
It
Dude.
is good, isn't
That
it?
is unbelievable. It's so fucking horrible. Why are you wearing a toga?
Let me go back and see if I can make them more like you. Would you like that if I could do it? Yeah. You look like you enjoy package holidays and complaining. Don't you? And then let's see what AI says about me telling
I
them.
run a very shit food review Instagram.
I'm here to help, and I can get frustrating. I mean, do what I want. Give me what I want. Give it. Right, we'll go one more thing, and then we're just gonna go with this stupid version. I don't know what it means. Dead on arrival looked great, and then they just stopped doing it. So AI must think as it goes on.
It must be like, here, actually, do I want to be doing this? I do that sometimes. You know where you're going, oh, I'll put up a wee funny meme or something that I'll make, and you're halfway through making it, and you go, what am I doing?
Yeah, that happens a lot with me and everything, with jokes, everything. I'm like, why? Just go and look after your kids, Dave, would you? You fucking
I'd be a dad.
absolute idiot.
Add value to the world, you know.
But then, do you ever see people and you're like, why are they doing stuff? Sometimes people post certain things, and I go, I don't know why you've done that.
Yeah.
And then I think sometimes people are just like, you go, people have too much time in their hands and also shouldn't do what they're doing there. And do you ever get that?
Oh God, yeah.
Let me see if I can make this.
I
better.
still gig at open mics. I think that all for hours at a time.
Open mics are good. Open mics are fun.
Some
We
open
need
mics.
them.
Well, you did kill Toddy there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good time.
It was good fun. Yeah, but then
Were you
again,
mean? Were you caustic?
No, I don't like to be caustic.
Well, I looked at the panel. I went, "Who's being mean there? These are all quite nice."
Yeah, but then I thought the other two would. Shane would never be, because he wouldn't want to have himself seem anything other than nice. But I think that I couldn't be mean to people and see people be sad. You know.
Yeah. Well, also, do you know what it is? It's like on Kill Tony, the people on the panel are so far removed from the people who are doing the stand-up.
Yeah.
But here's such a small scene that the likelihood is you're going to be on gigs with these people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to be really horrible with somebody that you're going to bump, or that you might already know.
Yeah.
What? Oh, God.
That's even worse.
That's even less like me.
I said make it look more like him, and they've really done me dirty there. Looks exactly like me. The fat slut in Alan. Oh wow, I'll keep that for a rainy day. But anyway, we have a couple of questions, and I'll let you go home.
Sure.
You have to walk back. No, you're not in Lisbon anymore.
West
Sorry,
Belfast.
you're west. I don't understand.
Like, you understand 'cause you're not West.
No, no, I don't actually. I don't wish I was west. What do you think about
Fine.
that? I don't.
I barely live in the West, so it's like the very edge before you get to Lisburn.
So you can see Lisburn, but it's not.
Yeah, but I can't use the dump, even though it's like 100 yards down the road. It's very annoying.
But no, I'm not going to say. You told me your hack for that.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no hack.
I'm not going to unveil.
There's no hack, but if you want to know a hack, drop me a wee message.
It's
if you're
very good.
if you're also in the West. But I mean, see, the problem is you'd have to have my unique circumstances. You'd have to have previously lived in Lisburn.
But then, fuck them if they don't. Yeah. But then also, if they're west, they'll understand and be able to sort it.
Aye.
You know, because it's west. They'll have their own west dump.
I mean, also a big fan of Candy Way dump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's also a good dump. A couple of good dumps in Belfast. Is the dump good in Bangor?
The dump in Bangor's fantastic, but I had to go to the Arts dump last week, and
Why?
it's not, because there's no slots available in the afternoon. In
Oh, do you
Bangor.
have to book
Bangor's
in
booked out. Yeah, you have to
Bangor?
book in.
All right.
But in Arts, like I just went in and I was like, where I like to split my recycling up, because that's the kind of cool guy I am. Yeah, you're like, oh, what a boring guy. Care about the environment. Ice caps.
No, you just don't have enough to do during the day.
Correct. But and then I just went to Arts, like, just fucking anywhere, lad. And I was like, okay. So I took all my rubbish out, had sex with it, and then left it there because I did what I was told. Neil says, "Hey guys,
Hi
couple
guys.
of questions."
Hi Neil.
Oh wow, we've already done this basically through this episode. What do you think is the meaning of life?
There isn't one really, is there? Like, I don't. But do you believe in God? Do you believe there's an afterlife?
I don't know. I'm agnostic.
I'm agnostic, but I
would say,
lean towards probably not.
I'd imagine no.
No, I think you know, you just we're social beings, but we're also like, I think we all want, well, not all of us, but most of us want to be nice and do nice things. That's just the meaning of life, you know. Have a nice time, do nice things.
Be nice.
And whenever if you're doing comedy, fuck up, be a pro.
Yeah, I believe this will be a question you'll really cherish. What's your favourite biscuit?
Oh, now define biscuit.
Right. Okay. Well, this is your.
So like Mars
interpretation.
bar, not a biscuit.
No, it's a bar.
Right. Okay.
Snickers, not a biscuit.
Not a biscuit.
Chocolate
What
bar.
is a Rocky? A
Yeah,
biscuit.
A biscuit. Yeah, it's got a biscuit.
Because it's a
base.
biscuity base.
Big barry biscuit base.
Right. Well, if we're talking classic biscuits, just like classic in a wee tin, custard creams. Love a custard cream. Love a custard cream. Don't like a bourbon at all.
Yeah. No.
No.
See, I would love a bourbon.
No. Custard creams are jamming creams. They're like jammy Dodgers, but they have a bit of cream.
They're nice.
They're
so
really
you
good.
like a cream in a biscuit.
I do like cream in a biscuit, but if I was going for like biscuity biscuit, then probably a Rocky caramel.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Although I love a penguin. Penguins are great.
Penguins are
And you get a wee
nice.
joke,
Yeah.
you know?
I like the round rings you get in Marks and Spencer.
The white chocolate ones of them. Really good. Do you know what's class in M&S? Those chocolate covered custard creams. Have you had them?
No, but I've got a bit of time. On the
They're
way
quite
home, I
expensive.
pop
It's
in.
£3 for 6, but they are class.
So that's
I can't
50,
recommend
50p a biscuit.
Yeah, but
worth
worth every penny.
So, and then Paul says Magic Tree car air fresheners. Do you ever see the people that rip the plastic open a little bit to try and save the scent? It annoys me for some reason. They're £1 and they don't last long.
The
Get
people that are
enjoyment
like,
out of
no,
it.
I don't want this all to. I don't want all the smell to seep out immediately. You're like, just buy 2, you
Yeah.
fucking dick. What do you get for £1 now?
Oh, 2 of those biscuits.
True. The other day, actually, I was in a Spars or Centre or something, and they had a new club drink, right? Club Tropical.
Okay.
And I love Club. Love a wee Club Orange, Rock, Shandy, Lemon. They're all good, right? I went, oh, maybe I'll lift it. And I lifted it, and I looked, it was $2.70. I put it back. I was like, fuck off. For a 500ml bottle, I could buy nearly 3 air fresheners, and then I wouldn't have to keep it in the plastic.
No. But then if you rip the plastic off straight away, it's overpowering.
No, but you rip the thing off, and then you, as you're getting out of the car, you then leave it for a bit. Maybe with the window open a wee crack if you've got a private drive.
Yeah.
Let it seep out a wee bit, and then
And what's your favourite scent? Do you have a scent?
I like a wee vanilla. Anything sort of vanilla. Because Ronan Niski actually said this to me, and he's 100% right. He gets really annoyed when people like use vanilla as a synonym for boring.
Yeah.
Because vanilla is actually a really strong flavour. They're thinking of vanilla, what's called vanilla, but it's milk
Yeah.
ice cream.
Yeah.
But like vanilla is actually like, it's so, you only put like a drop of vanilla in their recipe because it's so
You
overpowering.
need a bit. That's a good bit. That's a good premise.
It's really his bit though.
Yeah. Oh well.
Fuck's sake, bro.
You know what though? We got ice cream yesterday because it was Easter Monday. That's what we did. And we went around. Where did we go? We went to Castle Ward, National Trust. Nice kids. Had a great
That's
day.
what's good. Good
Bit
spot.
of picnic. It's actually Winterfell from Game of Thrones, home of the bastards. And
Bastard.
You bastard.
Bastard.
I don't know if you saw it. I put a wee thing
I
up
did,
in it,
yeah. I've seen it
Worth a
before,
watch,
like that
but
video.
it's my favourite. Worth a watch every time. Sean Bean, just compilation of Sharp saying bastard is brilliant. You
Bastard.
You bastard. But great time there. On the way home, we got to Strangford Ferry. Got home, stopped in Portaferry, got the girls' ice cream.
Nice.
And I think
I was down at the
flavours
aquarium the other week.
explore us.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a good
That
spot.
spot. Soft play smells of poo though.
Yeah. I know that's all a soft place, so you will see.
I know, yeah, there's the thing.
But so sometimes the slides are just so exhilarating, kids shit themselves in it.
Well, do you know, when I was a kid, we used to go to Lady Dixon, in Dunmurray.
Oh yes, the park.
Right, yeah, the park. And it
I thought
still
you meant some
does,
sort of
but when I was a
dominatrix.
kid, the park there, like there was nowhere had a play park as good as Lady Dixon. So I used to get so excited that every time when they lift me out of the car, I'd immediately shit myself, and then they put me back in the car and drive me home. Happened like 4 times in a row.
So you
Not on the one day. But I'm like so excited
Yeah.
that I just poo myself.
That is so funny because we had this exact discussion in bed this morning about why do I get excited about going for poos, and it's that there must be something inside you that makes you like when you're excited.
You
You
get
need to
excited
poo.
to go.
Yeah.
I
No,
love a poo.
But
I
see, if
love a
need
big
to
shite.
poo, if I need to poo and I'm out, if I get into my street, it's nearly unstoppable.
No, it's like whenever if you're drunk and you need to pee,
Uh-huh.
when you see your front door or back door, whatever door you win, you'll think I'm going to piss myself
Yeah.
now if I can't get in here. And then when you get in, you're okay, and you sit down, and the relief
Yeah.
is on. See, getting a pee even when you really need one.
Uh-huh.
Like in July, I went with some mates to Bratislava, and with 2 pints in the airport, and then I had a pee before I got on the plane.
Oh, schoolboy era.
And I was like, I thought I'm going to piss myself here. And because it was Rana, and we didn't want to pay for, we're all sitting separately, and there was a girl beside me, and I was like, I'm going to piss myself. like this
Did
is
you say
going.
it to her?
What? No. I just thought to myself, in front of this girl, I'm gonna piss myself.
Oh.
And I was like, is the strategic thing here to do like piss a little, like just let a little bit out, just to relieve the pressure?
Oh, you can't, because
No,
once you release it,
yeah, exactly. So I was like, and I mean, it was proper. Like, I had my hand on my belt, so that the second that light was off, I was the first one in. I've never known relief like it. It was unbelievable. I had a mate actually one time. He did that where he just does weird things. He recently got diagnosed as autistic, and it was not a shock to him or us. You know, he has his ways. He's very set in his ways. But we were in Blackpool, and we were flying home, and he was like, do you know what? I'm going to drink 2 liters of Pepsi and see if I cannot piss until I make it home. Right.
it might be the most autistic thing I've ever heard.
So we get on the plane anyway, he's sitting beside me, and he's like, oh my God, I didn't account for like air pressure. Like, I really need to piss. But just as he was getting ready to go, the seatbelt light came on for the descent, and he couldn't get up. And then he went, fuck, I have to get up anyway. And like, I've never heard this before. They did it over the tannoy. Like, can the man in the aisle please return to his seat? So he had to go back. And he was like doubled over. He needed to piss so bad. And then he said to the guy, he was like, the guy was saying, can you let me out? And he goes, mate, you're not allowed to. He goes, you don't understand. It's an emergency. And then he got up. So eventually the thing hit the runway, and we're taxiing, and he got up, and he went, and the stewardess was like, you have to go back to your seat. Yeah. And he goes, no, I can't. He goes, no, you're doing this at your own risk. And he goes, I will take that risk, and ran to the toilet, had a huge piss. And I went, how did you cope? And he goes, let's just say, mate, because he was like this, he was sort of grabbing at himself for ages, and he went, thank God for foreskin. So he must have peed a wee bit and then kept it in.
That's so hard to do, though. I used to do it all the time when I was younger. They used to like to gather the pee.
I make it like your willy swell, yeah.
Like
and be like, this must be what it's like to have a normal size willy.
But it was. Yeah, there's nothing like
difficult
it.
when you're only starting with 4, you know.
But when you have to pee, very bad boy. You're a bad boy, and I like it. Yeah, at least my mother doesn't see it. And but like, when you need to go, there's nothing like. No, I cannot. Like the other day, I needed to pee so bad that I thought I was going to have to just like pull the car over and just get down on my knees. I said to Catherine, she said, why would you get on your knees? I was like, because I don't want people to see what I'm doing. Or at least
you're actually a man on his knees.
Yes, I mean, like that's.
But then your piss is going to run onto your jeans and all.
Yeah, but like, something you have to go, and that's the thing. I've been drinking a bit more recently, and
like water or alcohol?
Yeah, no, just the H2O, it's hydrating. I've been better at it.
There's no greater high than being hydrated.
And I feel as an adult, you should be able to hold yourself a bit better. And then,
but some people it goes, as you get older.
Oh yeah. But I think once you
women after childbirth and all can have difficulty. It's like the world's complicated.
Yeah, but
yes, I look forward to a poo. So sometimes I go, fuck, I've got 40 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe I'll just have a really long poo.
But then I love it.
It's that thing of me where I'm like, I don't know if it's a sign of healthy balls or not. Probably not, but I can basically always go.
Yeah, I'm the same because I enjoy it and I get stimulated with excitement, and I just go. But anyway, speaking of going...
What a weird note, Dan.
Speaking of going, we're going to go home. We're going to see if the stupid AI's done anything. No, it told me to fuck off, so that's it. And
dead to me, AI. Actually, AI.
Wow. And I thought I was the king of segues. It is you. Anything you doing anything?
No, I mean, well, as you're going to all been well, I'll be mostly changing nappies and being tired. I'm taking a couple of months off gigging, but I have a wrestling podcast. The worst there was, which will continue to post. We've pre-recorded all through the summer, so it'll just be released.
Would you ever do like a wee extra special one and call it like the worst there was, the worst there is, and the worst there ever will be?
Probably, yeah. That's where it comes from. That's what we were doing there. Yeah. And also, Kill Your Darlings, the comic club I run, will also continue all through the summer.
Will you feel sad when things continue and you're just not?
Not if it goes better. Well, if it goes better than when I was there. Kill Your Darlings Comedy on Instagram for all the shows. And
let me just end on a positive note rather than my exciting stimulation of my anus through pooing.
You have to go through the BARSE first.
It goes up the BARSE, you're in trouble. What is the thing that you're most looking forward to about being a dad? What's the thing that feel like you're most excited about?
this is very existential. As a man who, for a long time, feels like he didn't really enjoy anything, I'm looking forward to a big moment, like a big event, a big, like, look at this thing that I don't know why I'm grabbing her like that. That, like the love, that's really cheesy and naff, but like it is, it's like going like, oh yeah, this is like now what my life's about, and yeah, well, put it this way, I'm sure you've had this. It's like since you become a dad, you get more emotional.
Yes.
So I like when was it, last week? We with some big baby girls, and I washed them, and then hung them up on the line, and then welled up, looking at all the wee row of baby girls. So I'm like, oh, that's the start of that.
Yes, and it'll happen. Everything, and that's the worst thing is anything in the film and stuff or movies, TV shows, you associate with your own kid, and then tears. The Walking Dead.
Every time a child dies, you're like,
there was did you ever watch it? You did watch Walking Dead, didn't you?
No, I watched a couple of series. I read all the comics. I read the whole thing. But
was it exactly the same?
No, slightly different. But
was there a bit where like the little girls was feeding rats and then she killed her own daughter or her own sister and turned her into, when they brought her out to the field to shoot her, exact same age difference as my kids, exact same thought process my kid would have, not thinking your own sister's bad and all. Cried my eyes out for weeks. Watched it back again. Still cried.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Can't cope.
What a darn note to end this on.
Do you know what?
Happy Easter. I mean, Easter was a month ago.
Happy May Day.
Happy May Day. Happy May. Hopefully the weather's a bit better. Actually, today's nice.
I could hold off and wait until Pride to put this out if you want to say Happy Pride. People think.
Well, can we just say Happy Pride in advance?
Yeah, what about, is Eid another one too? Is it a Muslim time of year?
Eid Mubarak. No, that was
Happy Eid.
Eid's done. Eid was before
Easter. But depends when you listen to this, doesn't it? Happy Christmas.
Yeah, weirdly though, is this the sort of podcast where you go, here it's February 2027, I want to go back and listen to pre-fatherhood Alan Irwin.
I want one person to save this and listen to it.
Yeah, if you did do that, please let us know.
Yes, please. Thank you, Alan. It has been a pleasure.
As always, Dave, thanks very much.
I'm the sly guy.